Okay, let's kick this off with a question for you listening. Are you using Matillion, or are you really mastering it?
Yeah, that's a great distinction because look, Matillion's visual interface, the whole drag and drop thing, it's designed to be easy.
Super accessible.
Right, and it makes building data pipelines feel straightforward for a lot of tasks. It definitely delivers on that promise.
See the canvas, connect a few components, and boom, there's your workflow. It feels like you're getting stuff done fast.
Mhm.
But the source we're diving into today, Mastering Matillion Beyond the Visuals, it makes a really important point straight away.
It
That
does.
visual layer, yeah, it's intuitive, but it's really just the starting line.
Exactly.
Mm.
The main idea in this piece is that building, really solid, scalable, efficient pipelines, that takes more.
More than just dragging and dropping.
Definitely. It requires skills that go way beyond navigating that visual screen. You gotta understand what's actually happening underneath all those icons.
So that's our mission for this deep dive. We're going to unpack this source, figure out what these critical, sometimes overlooked skills actually are.
And why they matter so much for mastering Cloud ETL or ELT.
Right, and what it means for you if you're aiming to really leverage a tool like Matillion effectively.
Because the source points out a potential, let's call it a trap, staying only on that visual surface. I
Right.
mean, Matillion is great at generating the code for your cloud data warehouse, Snowflake, BigQuery, Redshift, whatever you're using.
It does the heavy lifting there.
It does. But just relying on the defaults, that might not give you the best performance. Like the SQL, it spits out automatically. Sometimes it's not the most efficient way to run a big join, or maybe it doesn't use the best partitioning strategy for your specific warehouse.
Ah, okay. And that's exactly where these beyond the visual skills become, well, essential.
Non-negotiable, really.
To really get it, you need to understand how that SQL it generates actually runs on your platform.
Yep. Reading query execution plans. The source highlights this.
So you can see why a query Matillion built is slow.
Exactly. And fixing it might not just be tweaking something in Matillion. It might mean looking at your data model or how the warehouse itself is configured.
Which flows right into another key point the source makes.
Hmm.
You need deep knowledge of optimizing your cloud data warehouse.
Absolutely. Matillion works with your warehouse. If that warehouse isn't set up well, maybe tables aren't clustered right or indexed properly for the queries Matillion sends,
Then even a perfectly designed Matillion job will struggle.
it'll be hobbled, yeah. So you need good data modeling principles working together with your Matillion development.
Something I found really interesting was the point about knowing when to actually step outside the visual interface,
Mm-hmm. That's crucial too.
like for really complex stuff, or
Mhm.
integrating with specific APIs that don't have a ready-made connector, or even just automating repetitive management tasks within Matillion.
That's where scripting comes in. Python, Bash, whatever fits.
Right. Use the visual tool where it shines, but know when actual code is the better or maybe the only way to get something done.
And it's not just about the tech deep dive, is it? The source talks about mastery strategically.
Yeah, thinking bigger picture.
Can you build pipelines that don't just work today, but are resilient, that handle failures gracefully? And, super important in the cloud, are cost effective when your data volumes grow.
Because those technical details we just talked about,
Yeah.
they directly hit your cloud bill.
Oh, absolutely. An inefficient Matillion job means more compute time, higher warehouse costs. Simple as that.
So strategic foresight, the source argues, means designing for reliability and cost control right from the beginning. That's part of mastery too.
Definitely.
So wrapping this up, what's the takeaway for you listening? Well, if you're leading a data team using Matillion,
The source suggests you look beyond just whether they can connect boxes on the screen.
do they have those SQL optimization chops? Do they grasp the cloud costs tied to their designs? It's about assessing that depth.
And if you're the data pro, this piece is like a roadmap for career growth, isn't it?
Totally. Don't stop at the drag and drop.
Dive deeper, learn the SQL performance side, understand your cloud platform's internals, play with the APIs, pick up scripting for automation.
And really focus on intentional data modeling.
That's how you go from just using Matillion to being a real data integration architect, someone who builds robust systems that last.
So, bottom line, Matillion's visual strength is its accessibility, no doubt. But true mastery, real effectiveness, that comes from blending the visual ease with a deep grasp of the tech and strategy underneath.
Yeah, the source really hammers this home, the defining skills. SQL tuning, warehouse optimization, scripting, APIs, solid data modeling, and that strategic view on scaling and cost. It's vital for your projects and, frankly, for your career.
So here's a final thought to chew on, building on what we've discussed. How does getting really good at both the Matillion tool and these underlying skills change the game for your data team?
Does it shift the conversation?
Right, from just we built the pipeline to we've designed a resilient, cost-effective, future-ready data architecture. That feels like a pretty powerful shift to aim for.